Welcome, everybody. On behalf of the Jordan family and the entire staff, welcome to Wisconsin Speedway. This is your track announcer, Ken Minot, ready to bring you the call of today's race program. The most important rule while you're here today, have fun.
Welcome all my friends. Welcome all my friends. Welcome all again.
The drivers are ready. The crew is ready. We hope you're ready too. It's race time at Wisconsin Speedway. Get settled in, folks. The show starts now.
Hey, shake and bake, Cal! Woo! Shake and bake!
Alright, we're in the food line with Nick Hinckley tonight. He's our most recent Pro Stock winner, but that was quite a few weeks ago. We had a rain out at the last Pro Stock race. Was that a bummer for you, Nick?
Yeah, well, it was supposed to be a scheduled 50-lapper, so coming from the back, obviously could use the extra 10 laps, but it's rescheduled till the end of the year, so.
So we're in the food line. What'd you get good tonight to eat?
Chicken sandwich with cheese. Gotta try one.
Gotta try. Oh, I gotta try one? Okay, yeah, I haven't yet, so I definitely will.
There you go.
Alright, so, yeah, the most recent winner. You went out in the first practice, third fastest. You didn't go out in the second practice, right? So you feeling pretty confident?
Yeah, we were pretty dang good, but just didn't want to put extra heat cycles on the tires, and especially where we scuffed them last week, and they've just been sitting, so pretty much we'll figure it out after the heat. We got a couple new cars, so don't really know where we're going to sort out in the heat lineup, so go from there.
All right, Nick, on a lighter note, we've been asking some drivers some silly questions to lighten the mood as well, so I wanted to know if you ever sing to yourself or hum to yourself while you're out there racing, or what do you do in your mind to keep focused?
I'm not really much of a singer, so really, I don't know. I don't really think anything goes through my head. It's more or less just paying attention to the race.
Well, what about when it comes to your spotter? You like somebody that's always pep-talking you and really chatty, or you like them to shut up?
Well, let's put it this way. You probably wouldn't be able to play what my father says to me over the speaker, so how's that for an answer?
All right. And how about what you say? Is it just as bad?
No. We kind of have a mutual feeling of it, and him and my brother are way too similar, so they butt heads. I can brush it off. It doesn't faze me much, so.
All right. Nick Hinckley, who are you watching out for? I heard you telling Ed there, Josh is looking pretty stout.
Yeah, Josh and Kevin, like always, it's going to be a race to the front, and I mean, we're all so close that, the practicing, it's so hard because you can be fast for 2 or 3 laps, but after 10, 15, it completely changes, so we'll see. I mean, just going to be there at the end.
All right, Nick Hinckley, number 15, good luck tonight.
Thank you.
Jamie Wright's back in the 84 Pro Stock. We are glad to have you here, Jamie. We only saw you for the first 2 weeks, opening day, and one after that. Where you been?
I had some health issues. Haven't really been able to move around too good. So finally been able to get up and moving, and I feel pretty good. So time to get back in the car.
Wow, that just kind of took me by surprise. I had no idea that you had some health issues, Jamie. So what was going on?
Appendix and diverticulitis. They took some of my colon away and sewed me all back up. And just as good as I was, well, as normal as I was before anyway.
All right, so you've had some surgery. Did the doctor say it's okay to be racing?
Yep, he said the 12th, and I had to get a doctor's note from my mother. But no, she okayed it, and yeah, we're here.
All right, third visit for Jamie Wright this season. How you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good. Still a little
speed in the car.
I mean, everything's going so fast. It's been so long since I've been in the car, but for the most part, I'm feeling pretty good. Got a turn yesterday and during practice, and hopefully we can get back to it, turning in the center. And I just really got to put a rubber mark on Kevin Douglas. That's my only goal.
Yep. All right, Jamie Wright, man. Again, took me by surprise there. Super happy that you're healthy and doing well, and we wish you luck tonight.
All right, thank you.
We'll get you some other names as we get ready to go. 10-lap heat to go with a 20-lap feature.
Senior Tour auto racers with their hometown coming from Massachusetts. We appreciate the long haul out of most of these guys. And they got 2 classes tonight. This is the first one, the Sportsmen's for the Star Tour. Charlie Lima in the 2X. And here comes the 38 of Bob Guyon. Guyon looks to the high side to take the lead away from Charlie Lima. We're side by side at the front. Charlie Lima running Guyon awfully high through turn 2. He's being a good sport about it. Guyon still racing him hard on the high side, but this time he falls back in line. Halfway flags that time around for Charlie Lima in the 2X. Bob Guyon still working on him in the 38. And making up third is the 68 of John Mulcahy. And then running in fourth is the 1 of Joe Gauze. Rounding out the top 5 is the 00 of Mark Parmentier. Lapped car coming up ahead of your leaders. Let's hope that doesn't pose a threat with 2 laps to go. Charlie Lima goes around the high side of the lapper. It doesn't hold him up one bit, but it holds up Bob Guyon for a car length or 2. We're coming to the white flag for Lima in the 2X. Lima is still running up high and making it awfully difficult for Bob Guyon to give him a fair race. He's going to bring it up alongside wheel to wheel in 3 and 4. We're coming to the checkered flag. Boy, they really tightened it up coming out of 4 right there. Charlie Lima hangs on by a couple tenths. And that was a good qualifier for the Star Tour. And looks like the rookie, John Ritchie in the 4, wants the rear. So he's up to speed now after letting Chastity Shorty motor on by. And here we come around for the completion of lap number 1. Reed Reno by a nose on Jacoby Thacker as Jacoby spins out of turn 2. We had a good side-by-side battle going on, but I believe Jacoby lost it by himself. And luckily nobody else was collected. Two laps in the book so far, both of them going to Reed Reno. And it looks like he's going to continue this time around as he gets a car length on the side-by-side battle with Hall and Burgess. Josh Hall in the 117 and Ben Burgess in the 7B. Still going at it side by side. Burgess got a little sideways there in 3, but he hangs on to it and he's crossing over. Chris Burgess with a slick crossover move to get to the inside of Josh Hall, and he's going to reclaim that second place position. Coming around for 5 laps in the books, it's halfway for Reed Reno. Chris Burgess takes that second position back. Josh Hall makes up your top 3, and then they are neck and neck for 4th and 5th. It's Jack McKee in the 28 and Taylor Lane in the 70. Single file up front for Reed Reno, Ben Burgess, and Josh Hall. And we're still side by side for that top 5 honors between Taylor Lane and Jack McKee. Things are getting tight for the top 3. Nobody wants to make a mistake or they'll open up that inside line and somebody will be right there to capitalize. 2 laps left for Reed Reno. Taylor Lane clears Jack McKee for 4th. McKee's going to keep her honest, and he's going to look to the high side once again. Just outside the top 5, it is Chastity Shorty in the 19. Here we go. Last lap. Reed Reno, Burgess, and Josh Hall. Bumper to bumper for the top 3 of them. Coming to the checkered flag, it's going to be Reed Reno. Chris Burgess certainly gave him a run for his money getting a fender underneath, but Reno hangs on for this one.
Let's go racing.
And from the high side, the number 10 takes the lead away of Joe Henderson. And here comes Scott Tucker. The 79 now looking to the high side. Scott Tucker and Joe Henderson pulling away from the rest of the field, led by the number 16 of Dwight Pickard. Fourth place, getting way up high in the marbles in turn 1. That was Kurt Snow in the number 110. He's going to lose a few spots for that one. Dwight Pickard still fending them off for 3rd place. And back up front, it is still Joe Henderson fending off the charge from Scott Tucker in the 79. Now up to 4th is the 43 of Alan Zemla. Moves up to 4th, and he's looking for a top 3, taking a peek to the high side of Dwight Pickard. Back up front, we have a dead heat for the top spot. Joe Henderson on the inside, Scott Tucker on the high side. They are dead even, coming around for 2 laps to go. As we have a new 3rd place sitter, the 43 of Alan Zemla breaks free from the pack. Henderson continues to fend off Scott Tucker as he comes around for the white flag. Two more corners for Scott Tucker to try to make a move on the lead. Here comes the checkered flag going to Joe Henderson. Brandon Fowler on the money for that restart. He quickly gets a car length on Charlie Colby. And then Shane Lane is left to fend him off for third. We're 3 wide deep in the field as Andy Gilbert in the 17 struggles and gets high in the marbles. Everybody makes it through. Shane Lane still holding on to third. And then it's Miller Buzzle in the 18. And Dave Getchell in the 88 making up your top 5 currently. Daniel Harding, the only car on the top side at the moment, but here comes Jet Decker looking to the high side of Nick Calvert as well. Jet Decker is boxed in at the moment as Harding is working the top side and Calvert is underneath Jet Decker. Harding this time pulls down low, and Jet Decker is going to ride the rim on the high side in the number 01 and try and pick some off. Brandon Fowler turning some serious lap times tonight with a 15-1. We're already past halfway, now 4 laps to go. A 15 flat last time around for Brandon Fowler. He's turning up the wick here in the second half and pulling away from Charlie Colby. It's been a few weeks since we've seen the 72 of Brandon Fowler. He doesn't race with us each and every week, but he comes out on occasion, and we're certainly glad to have him here this week. He could be a heat race hero this evening. White flag. We've got trouble deep in the field. Harding almost goes around. Everybody scatters. This one stays green. Harding could capitalize a couple spots on that one. Checkered flag is going to wave for Brandon Fowler. Well, that first heat race start was a bit of a runaway, but this time they keep it nice and evenly matched between McKegg and Melcher. Can't get much closer than this one. Logan Melcher trying to clear. He's almost there. Down the back chute, he might clear Dan McKegg Jr. and thread the needle down to the inside curb. He's going to do it in the 41. Now McKegg Jr. left to fend him off side by side right behind him. Filling in the rearview mirror, it's Kelly Moore and Jamie Wright running neck and neck. And we've stepped up the pace in heat number 2. Logan Melcher turning a 14.8. Logan Melcher on rails, 14.8, as he is checking out to a straightaway already on Dan McKegg Jr. Kelly Moore clears Jamie Wright, and he's trying to creep up tightly on the back bumper of Dan McKegg Jr. Kelly Moore up tight and trying to shake Dan McKeag Jr. up off the inside, so Jamie Wright is fighting back on the top side in the meantime. Josh St. Clair in the 14 is right there, ready to capitalize if Kelly Moore commits to the high side, in which he does, so St. Clair is going to fill that gap. The high side is just so tricky here at Wiscasset. A lap and a half to go. Melcher just about has this one in the bag under the white flag. Dan McKeag Jr. has got his hands full. Josh St. Clair, Kelly Moore, side by side in the rear view of McKeag Jr. Logan Melcher leads that one wire to wire, and they were just about 3 wide for second place, with Dan McKeag Jr. fending them off. It's feature time. Going green now this time. Trouble for the 45. He was in the second row, but the 45 of David Austin quickly jumps out of line, and they slice and dice 3 wide around him. He's falling backwards in a hurry. We're still 3 wide for third place, and we got some cars going airborne. Are you kidding me? Hard hit to the top of turn 4. That car that I was just talking about, the 45, right off the bat, David Austin was struggling. And then he makes contact with the 20 and sends them both hard into turn 4. 29. The 29, that is, not the 20. That's Kyle Moore from Frankfurt.
Safety crew quickly over to check on our driver's automatic red flag with the hard contact in the concrete wall. And I see driver trying to get unstrapped there in the 29. We'll try to get your word on other driver here in just a moment. There's probably no doubt. Just give him a moment to catch his breath. All right, both drivers checking out okay. The 45, as we said, just needing a moment to catch his breath.
Ryan Stillwell in the 81, able to break free from that restart. He clears his outside competitor, but here comes the squirrel, Shane Weber, from right behind him, going to the high side. And we're 4 wide on the front stretch. Deep in the field, they were 4 wide for a moment as the 88X gets shuffled backwards. Donnie Fletcher just trying to get out of the way. Ryan Stillwell desperately trying to hang on to the lead, but they're going 3 wide around him. Nobody's being patient for this one. Audette to the low side, and he makes contact with Cook in the 88X. These guys are with a vengeance tonight. Derek Cook in the 88C. With a little help from Audette, and they keep it rolling, but we do have a spin in turn 1. Two by two. Shane Weber and Mickey Landry up front. And for second and third, it's Ricky Austin in the 42 making contact with the 89, Mike Landry. And we got a bumper cover on the track. All right, Ken. These guys have double features tonight. Did you have a driver's meeting for them? It doesn't appear so.
Of course we did, but how much they listen, we never know.
Mickey Landry misses a shift on that one, and it is a chain reaction with everybody bunching up. And the one coming out on top for that one is the 88C of Derek Cook, picking off over half of the field, already up to fourth now. And now it's a chase to the front. Zach Audette and Derek Cook getting around Ricky Austin for second and third. Austin fighting back strong though and not letting Derek Cook get around that easy. Austin in the 42X still holds down the third position as Zach Audette works on your leader of Shane Weber. Tough break from Mickey Landry, trying to coast to the pits. Coming out of turn 4, he's still moving. Let's hope we don't need a yellow flag. I don't know, on that restart, it looked like he missed a shift on the 7X of Mickey Landry. Let's hope he didn't ruin the transmission on that ride. We've got a great race happening up front. First 10 laps in the books, and Shane Weber is able to hold off Zach Audette still. They are side by side for third for Ricky Austin and Derek Cook. Austin going into turn 1 awfully high, making it difficult for Derek Cook to complete the pass. They still go at it, neck and neck. And then the 08 wants a piece of the action. We're going to have a 5-car battle up front now with Kyle Willett coming into the mix in the 08. Halfway flags are out. It's a 25-lap feature. And Shane Weber continues to fend off the hard charge by Mr. Excitement, Zach Audette. Ricky Austin continues to hold off the third place fight with Derek Cook. Cook tries it again going into turn 3, brings it up nose to nose. Things are really tightening up there with the top 5. They are certainly bunching up that battle, and they're going to start running out of real estate here in a moment, right behind Shane Weber. All these cars bunched up are certainly not turning optimal lap times. That is allowing the 89 of Mike Landry to come into the mix as well, making it a 6-car fight. Derek Cook getting awfully sloppy with his corners, and he was to the high side of Ricky Austin moments ago, but washes up out of turn 4 and loses a couple car lengths. Lapped car coming up ahead. In front of your leaders, it's the 23 of Brandon Alley. Let's hope he doesn't pose a threat for your leader of Shane Weber. He's going to stay right out of the way. Nice job, Brandon Alley. This time around, it'll be only 5 laps to go, and Shane Weber is telling himself, just stay on the curb, protect that bottom, and that is all he can do. Zach Audette trying to cross over. He clips the curb coming out of turn 2. He is trying to make an inside groove happen where there isn't one. Audette back to the top side. Ricky Austin is right there to fill the inside if Audette can't continue the high line. That is exactly what he's trying to do. Audette trying to go for the lead, and Ricky Austin is going to snatch that inside line away from him and hopefully pick off second. 2 laps left for Shane Weber.
Three cars trying to sort out those final 3 positions. Shane Weber trying to hold off the division's top driver. White laundry flies, 1 lap to go. Audette jumps to the outside to try once again, gets it loose into turn 1. Ricky Austin can just sit and watch that battle for the lead. Audette charges into turn 3. They'll come hustling out of turn 4 with the checkers in the air. Shane Weber will take the win. Weber with the win. Zach Audette second. Ricky Austin third. Let's send things trackside. Nick's got your top 3.
Shane Weber, the squirrel, climbing out. Boy, oh boy, that was exciting. You just had to stay glued to the inside and keep protecting.
Well, that's all it took, didn't it? I mean, make them go around. If they got to move me, that's their problem. But no, it's a good race. I mean, if he had some, impatient, they hurry into the front. I laid it back, let them play it out. It paid out. I mean, got to thank all the help, the fans that stick around, that keep coming. I was out to after one tonight. I got 1. Let's see if we can get another one.
Yeah, that's right. Another feature coming up. Shane, any sponsors you want to thank on the 7 ride?
Oh, I got Q's Cannabis, Village Market, Carson Trucking, Village Market. I mean, whether you like everybody or not you race with, you got to have some fast cars to keep your momentum and want you to stride forward. So, I mean, everybody might not like me someday, but right now I strive for Zach. Zach does excellent. I mean, he's done it for decades. Somebody's got to be there to chase.
All right, nice one, Shane Weber. We'll see him later on in feature number 2. Shane was able to stay out of the commotion, but here's a guy that was right in the middle of some of it, right in the first 5 laps. Zach, what happened with you and Cook?
He tried to drop me. Well, I'm not lifting.
All right.
I want to thank the fans and everybody for coming. I mean, and without you guys, we wouldn't be able to be here. I mean, congrats to Ricky and congrats to Shane on his win. Congrats to Ricky. I'm glad to finally be in victory lane with him again. So we'll see how the next race plays out, considering it don't look very good right now.
Yeah, she looks a little tweaked on the left rear tire, so lucky you were even able to scrounge up a second place. Nice run for Mr. Excitement. And Ricky Austin, yeah, for a moment there you looked like you might be able to snatch it away. It was an exciting race all the way to the finish.
That it was. I was trying. Zach, he's fast. But car got put in the wall a couple weeks ago over to Oxford, and I want to thank the guy who put me there because it made it go like no other. So worked out in my behalf. Yeah.
It made you kind of give it an overhaul and find some things that were wrong?
Yeah, well, that and it just, they say after you wreck them, they go better. Sometimes it's true, sometimes it ain't.
Well, glad to see you hanging tight and making it, 3 cars under a blanket with those guys. Anybody you want to thank on the 42 for sponsors?
Yeah, Everett's Tire, Zach, he's done a lot to help me out. Also, Dave Cook, he's not here, but he's helped me a lot with the setup on this thing. So, and my wife, again, for putting up with all the late nights.
I'm sure there's a lot of them. Ricky Austin, ladies and gentlemen, wraps up your top three. And that will do it from Coastal Auto Parts Napa Victory Lane. It's feature time. We're going green with Mark Palmentier and Bob Guyon. They are the Senior Tour Auto Racers. As Mark Palmentier in the 00 got a great start on Guyon to kickstart this race for the Sportsmans. But here goes Bob Guyon in the 38, taking over the top spot. And another one working up the inside. Oh, they are really getting bunched up going into turn 3. Mark Palmentier, for the meantime, holding down second, but here comes the 9. Scott Clements working the inside. Palmentier is really keeping him pinched down. Clements is going to keep on motoring underneath Guyon for the top spot. We're neck and neck for the lead. Bob Guyon and Scott Clements side by side in the 38 and the 9. Your early race pole sitter is in the 00, sitting in third, Mark Palmentier. And he's getting some pressure from the number 1 of Joe Goss, now to the inside, side by side. Close quarters throughout the entire field. It looks like a restart here. We're 2 by 2 all the way through the pack now. Still dead even for the lead. Bob Guyon and Scott Clements. The 68 looks like he's got some might, but he's having trouble working through the field. That's John Mulcahy from Lakeville, Massachusetts. He currently rounds out the top 5. Still 2 by 2 by 2. Bob Guyon and Scott Clements unable to break free from each other. A couple of magnets up front. They are inseparable for the first 2 rows. And then it's still the 68 rounding out the top 5, just waiting to see which line will progress. Halfway through the 20-lap feature for the Senior Tour Auto Racers Sportsman Division. Still inseparable for the first 2 rows. Somebody might get daring enough to go 3 wide as they're setting up a roadblock for the first 2 rows and unable to get separated. It's the Star Tour out of Massachusetts. It stands for Senior Tour Auto Racers, and we're happy to have them in town on Summerfest weekend, as tomorrow we have the vintage celebration of racers in New England. And many of these guys are going to stay in town overnight and take part in the vintage racing Summerfest activities happening tomorrow from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Make sure you join us pit side tomorrow for Summerfest. This time by will be 5 laps to go for Scott Clements and Bob Guyon. I've never seen anything like it. Running side by side throughout the entire distance for the first 2 rows. This one's gonna be a barn burner down to the finish. We're on 3 laps to go, coming around for popsicle sticks this time. Bob Guyon in the 38, Scott Clements in the 9. Nobody giving an inch with 2 laps left. And for the second row, battling for third, it's Mark Parmentier in the 00 and Skip Stearns in the 1. Down the back chute, 2 corners to go through turns 3 and 4. We've got a nail biter right down to the finish between Guyon and Clements.
Oh, Nick was left speechless at the end of that race.
Here he is, folks. Let him hear you make some noise. Scott Clements in the 9. He lets out a big whoa as he climbs out. Scott, you out of breath? Was that a workout?
It was definitely a workout. Unbelievable.
Tell us a little about your ride and maybe some history that you have in racing.
This is my first year racing, and the car was built in 1970, and it's pretty much the way it was other than safety features like a seat and stuff like that, and unbelievable. I want to thank the track for being so friendly to us all. I want to thank my wife. It's our anniversary today. She let me race her on our 40th anniversary.
Oh, congratulations.
And it's unbelievable. I would like to thank my Two Flakes racing team. They got Kurt and Lois, Dennis, Lisa, Art, and Bruce. And, of course, my wife, my crew chief. And this is unbelievable.
All right. Scott Clements, everybody. He is smiling from ear to ear. And then I have to prepare myself for this fan section. Bob Guyon, everybody. All right, Bob. Nice race. Running side by side with Scott. Did you have fun out there?
I did. I was kind of stuck in third. I got a
Third gear?
Yes, and I got a 4-speed. So anyway.
What do you mean stuck? Like literally you couldn't shift it?
Into fourth. Yep. So, oh well, that's all right.
Tell us a little about the ride. Why does it say fuzzy on the side? Who used to drive it?
This car came from Waterford Speedboat. It ran born in '72 and ran in the '80s. And Mark Leginess built the car. It was a backup car. And Fuzzy Bear that raced at Waterford. I don't know, probably a lot of people know him. Oh, he gave him this car to run. And so I got hold of it, and it's still the way it was. It's all original.
All right, Bob. Anybody else you want to thank real quick?
Yeah. See all these people in the front here? They're hollering at me. Thank you. And I want to thank Star for having us here. And I like Richard and Vanessa and all you guys and all you fans. So.
All right, there he is, folks. Bob Guy. You're Skip?
Yes, I am.
All right, we got Skip Stearns from New Hampshire coming home in third in the one car. Skip, did you have fun?
I had a blast. This is the most fun you can have. The best part is these people are the greatest. We travel all over the East Coast, and I'll tell you, coming to West Castle, I look forward to every year. You know, it's a little bit I take out of my business, but boy, you guys treat us so good. Can we run here every week?
Do you want to make the long haul every week? How far do you drive from?
It was about 3 hours. I'll come every Saturday night, no problem.
All right, I'll talk to the Jordans and see what I can do. You coming back tomorrow for Summerfest?
Oh, yes, yeah, we're staying overnight. I brought 3 cars. Oh, yeah. I don't do anything halfway. I love this place. Hope you guys come tomorrow. I'll give you a ride in my Pinto, and if you're really pretty, I'll let you drive it.
Oh, that's right. There's fan rides around the track tomorrow for Summerfest. Boy, the sun is really coming out now, Ken. What's next?
Yeah, things looking good. We've got the Brackets Market 4-cylinder pros coming out next, and more of these classic cars from the Senior Tour Auto Racers. Green flag is out, and we are off and running. Jacoby Thacker in the 51 and Reed Reno in the 77 will go side by side down to turn 3. Thacker's got the lead for himself now. Reno settles in and does a crossover. Crossover move from Reed Reno in the 77 to take the preferred lane away from Thacker, and he'll come out into turn 3 with the lead. Josh Hall in the 117. He pulls up into second. 3 wide onto the front stretch. Little extra room with these little cars. That'll bring the number 7 of Ben Burgess up into the 3rd position. Thacker shuffled back to 4th now. Coming into the weekend, Josh Hall in that 117, your point leader, a 4-point cushion over Ben Burgess and the number 7. Reed Reno, though, one of only 2 drivers that's finished on the podium all season long. There's been just 2 drivers at Wiscasset Speedway this deep in the season that have finished on the podium in every race. One of those 2 drivers is this kid in the 77. But he's still looking for his first career win. Josh Hall putting on the pressure. Ben Burgess sneaking up the outside lane. Pulls up alongside Hall. They'll go side by side for second. Things tightening up there for the lead. Ben Burgess still tiptoeing up the outside lane. Josh Hall's going to swing out there as well. Ben Burgess takes the lead at the line. Just 29/100ths of a second the advantage. Reed Reno getting up on the wheel, trying to hold on to that number 77. The interval remains pretty much the same. Oh, spin over in turn 2. That's Taylor Lane in the 70. No movement yet, so that'll bring out the first caution of this race with 8 laps complete. Burgess had the lead on that last completed green flag lap by just 35/100ths of a second. That's all it took, and has now that preferred lane on this restart. If you haven't seen these cars before, they're little 3/4 scale cars that run about 110 horsepower Mazda 4-cylinder engine in them. Definitely a momentum car. Takes a couple laps to get these cars up to full song, but these youngsters hustling around this track at about a 77 mile per hour average speed. Many of these young kids won't even have their driver's license for another 4 or 5 years. Good side-by-side battle for second going on. Reed Reno staying up on the high side, holding second. We've had 3 different winners in this class this year. Ben Burgess in that 7 car, he's a 2-time winner. Josh Hall, the point leader in the 117, he's a 2-time winner. And Jack McKee in car number 28, he's been a winner. Got a spin over there to the bottom of turn 1 and 2. Going to see if he can keep it moving. This is the number 4 of John Ritchie. John Rickey in the number 4 brings out our second caution. This is this young man's first race. Another youngster moving up from the go-kart ranks. This is his first race here on the big track. Top 2 drivers in the class now going at it for the lead. One of these 2 guys trying to become the first 3-time winner this season here in the 4-cylinder pros. Josh Hall able to squeeze down in line right behind the race leader. Single file they go. Taylor Lane able to race her way back up into the 4th position. She was the one who brought out the first caution of the race. A little bit of a gap to the top 3, though. Jack McKee chasing her in 5th. Ben Burgess in the 7. He's a 2-time winner, and both of those wins came in one night about a month ago. Side by side now for 4th, Jack McKee ready to make a move in the 28. McKee trying to get back on track in that number 28 car, picking up his first career win a little over a month ago. Little slip from Taylor Lane in the 70. She gives up another spot, shuffles her out of the top 5, but she'll go back after Jacoby Thacker in the number 51. Oh, they make contact in the turn. And looks like that'll bring out the 3rd caution of the race. We are back under green. Once again, Burgess and Hall ready to go at it for the lead. Reed Reno staying right there with him in 3rd. Jack McKee starting to move up, perhaps to challenge for a top 3. Ben Burgess looking in charge of this one. 20 complete inside the last 5 now. Reed Reno now up to 2nd. As I said, Reed holding a unique tally so far this season. Only 2 drivers have finished on the podium in every one of the races this year. One of them, Josh St. Clair in the Pro Stocks. The other, Reed Reno here in this class. But the kid's looking for his first win. Drivers staring right into that late afternoon sunshine. This time onto the front stretch. It'll be 2 laps to go for Ben Burgess. Packed up tight. 3 cars racing for the top 3 positions in victory lane. They'll have 3/8 of a mile to go to get it sorted out. 1 lap to go. They'll hustle into turn 3 once again. Ben Burgess looking strong. Final time out of turn 4. Checkered flag is up. Reno's going to make it close, but Burgess gets the win. Let's head trackside. We got your top 3 in victory lane.
Yeah, that's right, Ken. Ben Burgess unstrapping the helmet and the Hans device. And let him hear it, folks. He's climbing out. Make some noise for Ben Burgess.
Good job, Reed. Good job, Reed.
Ben Burgess, the first to win 3 in the class this season. You and Josh Hall went into it with 2 wins apiece. You got 3 now, and you inherited the points lead, Ben. Nice run out there.
Yeah, that's great. We definitely found a lot of speed in this car recently, so that's nice. We were kind of in a struggle early in the season, but I got to thank Cole. He helps me a ton. My grandfather, my dad, he better figure something out in the Super Street race. My mom, everyone that comes to watch, all you fans, I mean, it's great.
That was going to be my next question, asking if you had any duties for old dad in the Super Street race.
At this rate, we need a top 10, hopefully a top 5.
Yeah, no, I didn't know if you were going to be doing a position like maybe a tire changer or a spotter or something like that.
Oh, I'll probably be spotting again if I get out there, get out of tech quick enough.
All right, there you go. Ben Burgess, everybody, with the win tonight with the first 3 wins in 4-cylinder pros. Now, Reed Reno, Ken had a fun fact. You've been in the top 3 for every single race and matching your best with a second, still seeking that first feature win.
Yeah, we've had speed all day. We won the heat race. They just had more speed than me today, I guess, for the feature.
Yeah, it was a good run out there, Reed, and congrats on that heat win. Who do you want to thank on the 77 ride?
My mom, dad, Mako's Excavation, Creative Play Childcare, Reno's Excavation, Bob Airy Concrete, 3 Blondes Boat Work, AAA Northern New England, Marty on Sun Painting, JBRH Construction and Concrete, and DIR Construction.
There he is, Reed Reno with runner-up honors tonight. And then Josh Hall comes home with top 3 for this evening. And, man, all 3 of you just bumper to bumper at the end of it there. Certainly an exciting finish.
I don't think it's exciting. I think it's unrespectful the way that they've been racing. The amount of blocking and bumping that's been happening, I think is just over the top.
All right, Josh, who do you want to thank on the 117 ride?
I'd like to thank Rennicoott Custodial Crew, Leighton Legacy Builders, Troy Bean Trucking, Barnyard Automotive, Coastal Race Fabrication, Driven Transportation, Wooden Sons, Get Her Done Gutters, and Sid Smith Trucking. And most importantly, it's my spotter's birthday, so.
What's your name?
Adam.
Adam, happy birthday, my man. All right, and that'll wrap up the top 3 with Josh Hall for victory lane. One more time, guys. Let the 4-cylinder pros hear you make some noise. And wrap things up in Coastal Auto Parts victory lane. Ken, what do we have next for these fans?
Next rolling out, we got some more of the Senior Tour Auto Racers. We got the Modifieds joining us. Let's go racing. Here they come. Off and running we go. Gary Moore will show him down through turn 1 and 2, turn 3 and 4 the first time. Scott Tucker starting to use the outside lane, and then number 79. We love that fast Pinto. '61 of Doug Picard drives out around high, wide, and handsome down the backstretch. Still going to stay up there on the high side. These guys definitely stretching the legs on these cars a bit. 79 mile per hour average for the 61. 17,117. Picard stretching out his lead. Nearly a full straightaway. Zemla got a little sideways in the 43, back there in the third spot. He's racing with Gary Moore and Scott Tucker. Zemla able to race out around and take over second. That puts Moore back into third. Scott Tucker waits in fourth. A little bit further back comes the number 10 of Joe Henderson. That number 10 car looking real cool. That's a 39 Chevy. Then you go back a straightaway to the number 16 of Dwight Picard. Picard driving a 72 Chevy Vega. Halfway this time by, 10 laps down, 10 to go. Scott Tucker has raced that 79 machine up into the third spot. I think last time Picard had that 61 car here, he stuffed it in the backstretch wall last year. Working their way around that number 110 of Kurt Snow. As I said, that 61, a nice throwback to an old Dave Kudemarsh machine that ran down at Beach Ridge Motor Speedway for several years and piloted at one time by the great Ralph Cusack. Alan Zemla still holding second. Then comes Scott Tucker in the 79. Oh, we got one that has expired over there in turn 2 in a puff of smoke. That's the number 64 of Art Merchant. Once again, Picard is in charge, brings the 79 of Scott Tucker with him into second. Zemla will settle into third. Got a battle developing for the third position. Zemla's got it. Here comes the 7 of Gary Moore up on the high side. They'll go side by side for third. This time by 2 laps to go on the number 61 of Doug Picard. Here comes Gary Moore up along the high side. Moore puts the 7 car back into third with 1 lap to go. Checkers fly, the 61 Picard takes the win.
Here he comes out, Doug Picard, out of the 61 car. So Doug, that was you the last time we saw you taking a wild trip, and
unfortunately,
obviously it hit the clip pretty hard. Is this the same car? Did you fix it?
it was the other car, the 16, and we spent all winter fixing that. Scott Jabuck put a lot of time in on it also. It's running good, so happy to have it back.
Yeah, that was a wild night and a wild wreck for sure, so happy to see that the car is still in competition. And Doug, also, somebody notified me, one of your biggest fans, that it's your birthday. You just entered another decade?
I did. I turned 70 yesterday, so.
All right, congratulations, Doug. Anybody you want to thank on the 61, and did you have a fun time?
I did have a fun time, and I got to thank Scott Jabuck. Him and the Jabuck family farm have put a lot of time and effort into this, along with my brother and Leo Tanger, and Tony Ricky helped me put a setup in it, and it's going good, so we're pretty happy with it.
All right, congratulations, Doug Picard in the 61. Happy birthday. And going home with the modified win for the Star Tour. And then Scott Tucker in the 79. We're talking about wild hits to the wall. You had one quite a few years ago, and glad that you're in good competition with Doug up there. What was it going to take to beat him?
A little bit. I could get to his back bumper, and that was over in 3. I could get a little deeper, but I couldn't have got around him. It was pretty much we were pretty much even.
All right, Scott. Well, we're glad to have you here. Hope you had fun. And anybody you want to thank on the 79 ride?
Basically, I want to thank you guys for having us, and I want to thank Arthur Hannaford. Arthur Hannaford is the one that puts the setup in this thing, and he does a good job. So.
All right, runner-up honors, Scott Tucker, ladies and gentlemen. Nice run. And then, who do we have here? Gary Moore from New Hampshire. Gary, I think you made a pass with like 1 or 2 to go there.
Yeah, I wouldn't have had a shot with these 2 main boys except for that caution. They were just way too fast for me, including the 43. So that really helped me out great. I'd like to thank my sponsor, Skip, who was also here in Victory Lane in the Black Pinto. So that's 2 for us tonight. So we're pretty happy.
All right, Gary, you looking forward to some more fun for Summerfest tomorrow?
Absolutely. Hope everybody can come out and enjoy it with us.
All right, and hey, we thank you for coming. Thank the Star Tour for bringing out the vintage racers of yesteryear. And that will wrap it up in Coastal Auto Parts Napa Victory Lane. We got the top shelf up next. It's Pro Stock time.
Let's go Pro Stock Racing. Oh, they're stacking them up over there in the outside lane. And Ryan St. Clair, the couple of cars pay the price. Once again, Fowler and Colby get the green. We're underway. Now we are off and running. Good clean start that time. Colby, little advantage on the outside. Overpowers Fowler down into turn 3 and takes the lead. Fowler fighting back though, staying right in the tire tracks of the leader, Colby. Then back to Shane Lane in the 0-2. He's holding off a couple drivers, Daniel Harding and Miller Buzzle. Top dogs in the class got a long way to go to get up from the back of the field. That's what handicap racing will do to you. The top drivers have to get from the back to the front. Daniel Harding jumps up on a line in the 38. He's going to test the outside on Shane Lane. Lane holds strong on the low side. Here comes Harding. Jet Decker right on his heels, trying to help him through the corner. Harding hanging on. Good run down into turn 3. Daniel Harding's got that third spot by just an inch or two at the line, and he'll finish the pass over Shane Lane. Decker's got outside leverage now in the 0-1. Lead pair have gotten out a full straightaway, but now some cars breaking free and able to get by the 0-2. Jet Decker setting up shop now on the outside of Daniel Harding. Two of the young stars rising here in the Pro Stock ranks at Wiscasset Speedway. Little bit of contact into turn number 1. Decker's got a good run onto the backstretch. He'll clear the 38 and take over the third spot. Now here comes the Hall of Famer Kelly Moore up on the high side. Moore with about probably 50 years on that young kid in the number 38. And he'll drive around him, a little loose out of turn 2, gathers it back up. 3 wide back behind him into turn number 3. Oh, trouble into turn 1. And that'll bring out the second caution of the race right here on the front stretch. They'll come to the attention of starter Nate Sennett. Green flag is out. Colby got a good jump again. Leaves Decker and Fowler behind to sort things out. Moore has settled down into 4th, and here comes Kevin Douglas. 3 wide over into turn 1. Moore's in the middle. Douglas has to back out of it. Daniel Harding puts the bumper to Kelly Moore in turn 3. It is Colby, Decker, and Fowler. Kelly Moore 4th, and Kevin Douglas is now in 5th and working the high side. Josh St. Clair sticks a nose underneath to move the 14 car into the 6th position. Closest race right now is that battle for the 4th position between Kelly Moore in the 47 and Kevin Douglas in the 18. Even up out of turn number 4. Josh St. Clair has joined that battle. Douglas hustling up around the high side. Put the 18 car into 4th. Jet Decker not letting Charlie Colby run away with this one. Decker within a car length. Decker gets a nose underneath as they get to turn 1. Halfway, 20 laps down, 20 laps to go. Decker moves to the inside of Colby. The youngster from Chesterville takes the lead. Jet Decker gunning for his first career Pro Stock win. Here comes Douglas around the high side of Brandon Fowler. Kevin Douglas. Oh, little contact with Fowler. Fowler spins to the infield. He'll park it up on the ledge. No movement. 72 trying to work his way back, but they may leave him there. Fowler able to get it started up. Kelly Moore is off the pace in the number 47. Kelly Moore heading for pit road with a flat tire, and really with the field spread out all the way around the racetrack, there was really no safe place for Fowler to get back on the track. Pace car in. Here comes Decker and Colby. Both drivers up to the task. Neither one giving up any ground on this first lap. They'll stay wheel to wheel onto the front stretch. Kevin Douglas is into the top three now. Colby has the lead by a bumper, 18/100ths of a second. And he'll lean on the kid coming through turn 4. Decker retakes the lead. Jet Decker, 37/100ths. This time by 10 laps to go. 30 down, 10 to go. Colby now starting to fade in that 72. Outside lane not working for the veteran. Kevin Douglas started 15th. He's now pressuring Jet Decker for the lead. Top drivers have to do a lot of work to earn their keep here at Wiscasset Speedway. Douglas, St. Clair, Hinckley. Jamie Wright holding 5th. Colby is now shuffled outside the top 5. Once again, Douglas will peek to the outside. St. Clair will stay down low. Inside the final 5. Douglas still trying the high side. Decker's going to make him earn it from the outside. Keep that low side covered. Douglas strong out of turn 2 that time. This time by 2 laps to go, and they are wheel to wheel for the lead. Douglas with the lead that time. Overpowers Decker onto the backstretch. White Laundry ready to fly. Douglas. Final time down through turn 3 and 4. Checkered flag ready to fly. Kevin Douglas takes the win. Time to send things down to Coastal Auto Parts Victory Lane. Nick Huff's got your top 3.
Thank you, Ken. And this guy's got quite a few Pro Stock wins accumulated from last year and this year, but I think it's a safe bet to say this one is among one of the top most exhilarating ones of his career. Kevin Douglas, everybody. Holy cow, Kevin. The competition level of this Pro Stock class has really ramped up.
You know, that's awesome for the racetrack, you know, to have a class like this. You know, I think I'm the first repeat winner. The competition level's high this year. It's good for the class. It's good for the track. It's good for the fans. So I got to thank Richard Manessa, first off, for everything they've done for me over these last 6 years. I really couldn't have done it without them. All my friends, family that are here, got a ton of them here today, bunch of friends. So I got to thank them for coming. Glad we kept it together, and I want to congratulate Jet and really appreciate he ran me clean, and that was good. It was good hard racing in my opinion, so I want to thank him too. All my sponsors, TJ Place, John Sullivan's, Ray Haskell, Strictly Roofing, Alaqua Lounge, Jordan Lumber, Island Dairy Treat, 1890 Primitives, JR Fabrication. I really couldn't do it without everybody's support, and thank you all you fans.
Nice run, Kevin. The fans were on the edge of their seat till the very end. And a part of that was due to this guy, Jet Decker. Kevin said you ran him clean, and when Colby was on the outside of you, you never touched. I mean, I don't think you touched Colby. You didn't touch Kevin. You were on the bottom. You stayed glued to the curb. You didn't run him up. What a clean race, Jet, and nothing to not be proud about.
Yeah, I really wanted that one, but it doesn't hurt so bad when you race against a guy like that's this good here, and make him work on it for the outside makes us feel good.
Yeah, certainly, Jet, and you would have got the lap leader bonus in that one. Led the most laps for sure. What do you got? One late model win to your resume?
This season, one. Yeah, I think I have 3 or 4 feature wins now in late models. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So what's the plan here? Pro Stock or late model? What's coming up for your future?
So we really want to run this for the Boss Hog, and I think this is our last tune-up race before it, and we really want to run the late model race the day before. Just we think that would be cool, but if we can't show up with both cars prepared 100%, 110%, then we won't.
All right, Jed, who do you want to thank for sponsors on the 01 ride?
RB Performance, Randy Keach Auto, Palmer Repair Technology, Roy's Allstake, Line X of Farmington. I got a lot of great guys behind me. My father, my grandfather, Mark Brackett, Dylan Moltz, and Alicia came in the pits today, and I really appreciate all the help.
All right, nice run for Jet Decker, ladies and gentlemen. And Josh St. Clair, everybody. Well, he's got a Super Street race still to come, but again, you and Kevin Douglas, you're one of the usual suspects that people say for this Wiscasset Pro Stock class, but I got to get your take. This Pro Stock weekly division has really ramped up the competition level, hasn't it?
Yeah, it definitely has. Coming up through it, in the beginning of the year, everyone was on different pages a little bit, but we're all coming to the top now. Jet, good run from him for sure. I'm sure he likes this new car a little better than the other one he had. And a good run to Kevin. He wheeled her up there. I tried to hang. I was dragging too much. Put on a spark show, though. So I got to thank Wentworth Family Grocery, Country & Coast Real Estate, M&S Painting, Dave's World, Duvall's Automotive, Larrabee Construction, DNC Electric. Everyone for coming out here tonight. This place looks awesome. The stands are full. So we'll see what we got in the 100-lapper. The car is close. We made some adjustments, so we'll see. That class is even harder to pass. So, boy, and I'm starting way in the back.
All right, we are looking forward to it. Coming up in the 100-lapper, Josh St. Clair. And one more time for Jet Decker and Kevin Douglas to wrap up Coastal Auto Parts, Napa, Victory Lane. We've got
Come to fours, round 2.
And Stillwell in the 81. Oh, trouble right from the start. Can't go clear low before you get to turn 1. Stillwell able to drive away, but that move definitely did not pay off for the 81. Still 3 wide back there in the pack as they hustle down to turn 3. Derek Cook leading the way, followed by the 7 of Shane Weber. Gunnar Jocelyn in the number 25. Donnie Fletcher heads down pit road. He'll drop out early. Scramble into turn 1, but everyone's still wheeling it. Derek Cook still throwing down fast laps. 18.229, that's 74 mile per hour average. The advantage up over 4 seconds now for Derek Cook. Cook trying to get his first win of the season. Had a couple top 3s, but no win. We've had 3 different feature winners in this class this year. '23 of Brandon Alley, hoping that thing will stay together for another 15 laps. Derek Cook still building on that advantage. A third of a track, it's up to 5.1 seconds. Trying to make this one a no-doubter. Halfway is up for the 7 of Weber, but he's over a straightaway behind the race leader, who's coming onto the front stretch right now. Still the fastest car on the track is that 88C.
Derek Cook looking for redemption in this one after a huge mishap with Zach Audette in the first feature. Checking out to a commanding lead with less than 10 laps to go now. And then we have the squirrel, Shane Weber, running in second. He just might be the only one landing in the top 3 for both features tonight, as they sit right now with Gunnar Jocelyn rounding out third. But behind Gunnar Jocelyn, they are jockeying around Ricky Austin and Zach Audette, desperately trying to crack the top 3. And they are running bumper to bumper behind the 25 of Jocelyn, and there's contact. Austin. Wow. Ricky Austin got into the back of Jocelyn and upset that car, and then tried to go around Jocelyn on the high side, and Jocelyn's car took a hard right, shooting up, trying to save it still. And hard contact is made.
Yeah, pretty much in the same spot that wreck happened in the first race, but definitely a bit harder this time for those two drivers. And we'll try to get a word from our safety crew, but by the applause, it sounds like at least one of the guys is up out of the car. All right, word is from over there in turn 4. Both drivers okay and up out of the cars. Both frustrated with how their evenings have come to an end. We are off and running. Derek Cook trying to hold off Zach Audette and Shane Weber. Audette moves up into second. Weber settles it down into third. This time by to be 5 laps to go. Cook had built up a 7.7 second lead, and now he is leading by less than a car length. Mike Landry, close call trying to get by Shane Weber, ends up driving through the infield. Zach Audette setting up shop on the high side now on your race leader, Derek Cook. This time by 2 laps to go. Still a tight battle for the third spot, too, between Shane Weber and Mike Landry. Landry actually rebounded nicely from the run through the infield. Cook and Audette on the final time around. Checkered flag is ready. And Derek Cook will take the win. Let's send things trackside. Nick's got your top three.
Yeah, let him hear it in the 88. Derek Cook. Redemption after that round one Thunder 4 feature, huh?
Oh, yeah. I smacked the back stretch wall in that feature, and thought I had flat tires, but still got fourth in that one, and this thing was on rails tonight, I'll tell you that.
All right, Derek, nice run. Who do you want to thank on the 88 ride?
I'd like to thank Shane Weber. He lets me run it, helps me out whatever I need. 45 North, it's down Turner. I'd like to thank my girlfriend, everybody that helps, Donnie, Gunner, Mickey. Mickey cuts my ties, does an awesome job. Anybody needs any done that races, get a hold of him. Yeah, and that's it, and it was fun.
Nice run, Derek, for Thunder 4 feature number 2. And then Zach Audette, did you get the left rear straightened out a little bit?
Yeah, I changed this control arm and then it just got bent again. So it is what it is. I guess second place is where this guy wants to run tonight. So we'll take it. I guess it's all part of the game.
Yeah, I think before the big hit in turn 4, you were on the outside looking in on the top 3, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I saw Gunner and them guys Gunner got loose or something, and then I see they got collected, and I was like, whoa, that's not good. So it is what it is. I mean, I'd hate to see cars get wrecked, especially Ricky's, and we'll get him back together and get him out here, I guess.
All right, wild one for sure. Zach Audette with runner-up honors. And Shane Weber, after a win in the first one, you got a third in this one. And, hey, we want to know what happened to your teammate in the first race. Did the transmission blow or something?
Kind of little of everything. We think the throw-out bearing kind of might have left, but he's got no oil pressure, so we're not sure if the motor might have left at the same time. So back to the knife for that one.
All right. And who do you want to thank on the 7 ride tonight?
Well, he didn't come out to race, but Mickey's the one that helps bail me out all week. So he cuts my tires, and cambered for speed is what he's got. So he's doing a few tires for people. But we got WTF Construction, Village Market, Carson's Trucking, Village Market, Q's Cannabis, and all the fans stick around. Can't do it without all you guys either.
All right, that's going to do it from the Squirrel to wrap up the top 3 in Victory Lane for Thunder 4 Mini feature number 2 this evening. Mr. Excitement comes home second. Derek Cook, after a wild feature number 1, gets redemption in the second round. And that'll do it from Coastal Auto Parts Napa Victory Lane. Ken Miner, why don't you take us home?
All right, thank you once again, Nick Huff, and congrats. Big thank you to Ward & Son Construction, not only for sponsoring our kids club, but sponsoring this night and this event tonight. We appreciate you guys and all you do for Wiscasset Speedway. Want to thank you guys all for joining us here tonight. It's busy night at Wiscasset Speedway. We do it all again next Saturday night. One final time on behalf of Richard and Vanessa Jordan and the entire staff here at Wiscasset Speedway, thank you for coming. Have a great rest of your night, and we will see you next time.